The drive-in to the magnificent facility that is Fasig-Tipton here in Lexington, Kentucky, home of this week's 2022 Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. It's a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon. Doesn't get much better than this for early October, and we welcome you back for day number 3. Mark McKelvey on the desk. A special guest right alongside me. It's Lennon McDonald because Uncle Anthony's running a little late, isn't he?
Yeah.
There we go. All right. You told me you'd be ready when the camera came on to talk. I got a couple questions for you. Having fun in Lexington?
Yeah.
Lots of fun? What has been the best part so far? Just so many, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Before we jump into today's action, and we've got lots to cover here today over the next couple of hours, Lennon, I got one question for you. You've been doing lots of drawing here today. You've also been helping me with my book. If you were going to draw in my book and you can only use one color, what color would it be?
Pink.
Pink. Okay, well, that's a different answer than what we got earlier. I thought it was going to be blue or purple. All right, Lennon, you're a little speechless right now, but you're going to have to keep this seat warm because your Uncle Anthony's running late. Does that happen often?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thestable.ca has purchased 8 horses this week here in Lexington through the last couple of days. Do you like seeing the horses?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite horse?
Yeah.
Do we know that horse?
Vital.
Vital, okay. And your papa, he's around here, isn't he?
Yeah.
We're going to see him a little bit later. But as we mentioned, 8 horses purchased over the first 2 days for thestable.ca. 5 yesterday. It was a really busy day number 2. And in a little bit, Anthony's going to join us and we're going to recap those purchases from yesterday. But of course, we still have 3 days to go in this year's sale. And coming up today, it's another busy day with over 200 horses selling. And we're going to go to our first package of some of the horses that we'll be taking a look at here today. So enjoy it. Keep this seat warm because we might need you all afternoon, okay?
I know.
I know. All right, let's go to that right now.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine recently introduced its exciting new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To create your account or learn more, visit www.preferredequine.com or call 914-773-7777.
It's you.
I really, really need to be on the.
So we're switching gears. Curtis has landed. We'll get the camera crew here now. I did a number of videos on my phone. This will be the first video we're doing professionally, so to speak. This is hip number 420. Now, when I looked at this horse, first look at this horse, yeah, the breeding's okay. 3 out of 6 in the top dam. As far as winners go, credit winner mare. Her herself almost made $100,000. Then you look in the second dam, Golden Chronos, $324,000. Any updates here? Golden Chronos, $338,000 now. This horse has made mark of 154 and 4 as a 3-year-old. Again, second dam, exported to Europe, third dam, Viking Chronos. There's a lot to look at in here. No, again, one of these pedigrees where there's not a bunch of world champions, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Amy said, geez, this horse stands nice. This is how a horse is supposed to look. This is a good-looking filly by Tactical Landing. We had a lot of luck with Tactical Landings. Good looking filly. Just look at how she stands. That's her doing that. My God. Landing Order, number 420. Tactical Landing filly out of a credit winner mare. Already has a sibling with $338,000 made. Good family, but a gorgeous animal. This is the type of horse we're looking for right here, number 420. Yes, sir. Look at that. What a beautiful horse. Number 420, Landing Order, selling on, geez, I would have to think that's day 3. I should really know what days he's in on. Selling here at Lexington on, I believe, day 3. Can you just walk her down? That's great, thanks. Okay. So this is 464. This is a Pennsylvania only. Now, this is important. Pennsylvania only. International money. Now, obviously, we had a ton of luck with international monies. We had 4 last year, and all 4 were stake winners, and all 4 pretty nice horses. Now, this is a good looking, obviously, a lot of paint on this guy. Chestnut, 3 White Sox. Second foal, and let me make sure, yes, second foal from a Muscle Hill mare. Now, this is an important thing. The first foal was an Angus Hall. Now, Angus Hall, a little long in the tooth. I would say a pitch right now. I'm going to give this horse a birth in that regard. Let's see if there's an update here. No. Got kind of an odd bloodline. Second dam, take it or leave it. Some $100,000 winners, some speed in there, some stake winners, but nothing jumps off the page. Third dam, Page Sealster, a hell of a page. Son of Page, these are good horses down in the third dam. So you got a Muscle Hill first dam, second foal, I guess, out of the mare. The second dam is okay. Third dam's got a little bit more meat on the bone, but man, this is one good-looking filly. Can you walk her down for me, sir, again? This one good-looking filly right here, $464 maker. That's day 3. What time does day 3? When does day 3 start?
Afternoon.
I already looked at the video. Sorry?
2, 3, and 4.
No, but what? Sorry, what number does it start on day 3?
I don't know. Day 3, probably 400 something.
So you can see she's a little toed out, this filly, but I watched her video. I didn't really mind this filly's video that much at all. And that is important. When you see horses, especially trotters, are a little toed out, yes, first concern is, geez, that horse is going to get to its knees bad. But you got to take a look. That's where the videos do come in a little bit handy. At top speed, you can have a look at this filly. She's not too bad. A little narrow, but not too bad. And I wouldn't be super, super concerned right now, at least, about it. Now, I might have a different conversation come March, April, May, June of next year. But for right now, 464 is a horse that I do find a little bit interesting. And just looking at her video again here. Yeah, she does come close to that outside knee, but not horrible. I wouldn't say she's for sure going to hit it. Number 464, Dollar Maker, horse we are going to be watching here in Kentucky. A second, damn, Jesus. You know, we're trying to get a handle on the 6-packs and how they look, and we've seen a number of them, and they don't have that typical muscle mass look to them. Not all of them. Some of them do. Number 486 is a very, very interesting horse. Now, I've talked to you guys about how I thought some of the horses maybe on day 1 didn't really look like day 1 horses. This does look like a day 1 horse, only he's 486. What a good-looking horse this is. Looks like he cut his foot on the back right hind at some point. This is a 6-pack out of a Donato Hanover mare. Now that mare has already thrown Paymac. Paymac's got 4 wins and 60,000 made. Bashir only has 2,000 made. I assume that's the 2-year-old. The second dam is the dam of Temporal Hanover, who's got 616. There might be updates there. 864 now Temporal Hanover has made. And the third dam is the dam of Glidemaster. I'm a little confused. I don't understand why this horse wouldn't be on day 1 or even day 2. This is what, late day 3? Middle of day 3. Kind of hidden in the middle. I don't understand why. This is a very, very good-looking horse right here. This is a 6-pack, May 18th foal. May 18th foal, dual eligible, New Jersey and Kentucky, colt by Six Pack. Man, he's a good looker, eh? Really nice looking horse. Yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah.
Over 800.
Yeah, 864. I just said that. Yeah. Anyway, 486. I can't foresee a reason or a possibility why we wouldn't be looking at this horse very closely come middle of day 3. A really good looking horse. Can you walk him for me, Matt? Yeah. Do you see the puncture in the you got a hole in that right hind foot?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it's gone now. That happened 3-4 months ago by the looks of this. That's a day 1 horse.
This the way he stands, the way he
Yeah.
looks, and you can see it in his eye.
Yeah.
The family of Stacy Hanover.
Yeah. The infamous. All right, thank you.
If you get this horse, I'll take a piece of
I would have. Stella Volo. And here's an interesting horse here, Stella Volo. This is a 6-pack. Now, we looked at a number of 6-packs earlier, and they were on the smaller side. This horse here is actually a pretty medium-sized filly, and she's going to get bigger. She's an April 10th foal. As I said, a 6-pack out of a Winsong's Legacy mare. Now, this is the 9th foal out of this mare. But when you look at what the mare's done, Nikki Volo, 326,000 made. Carter Volo, 260,000 made. Lots of speed, lots of money, lots of early 2-year-old marks. Nikki Volo went in 53-4 as a 2-year-old. That was the Yankee Glide sibling to Stella Volo. Again, second dam, you have winners, money, speed, everything you want to see in a horse. Now, this is a type of horse, 528, back at the sale, depending on how the 6-packs are going and how they're trending. This could be the type of horse where you might find some value. So I really like what I see in 528 Stella Volo. This is the type of horse that we end up with usually at these sales. So, as I said, certainly no knocks against this horse. She's put together well. She looks good. She even took a swing at this guy. Can you walk her down one more time earlier on? So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a very interesting latter part of the catalog also. It's strong, top to bottom, straight through to the end. There's some really nice 500 horses here that we've looked at today, and this is definitely one of them. Stella Volo. We got to find out what day this is. It's got to be day 3, right? 528? Got to be day 3 here in Lexington. It's a good-looking filly. I like her. Thank you. I like that one too, Steve. You know, it's nice when the sun comes out here in Kentucky today and it's cold when it goes away. It's in between. We're here looking at a Cantab Hall. Now, when I saw this horse's page, I said, Amy, we already looked at this horse because we had looked at a very similar pedigree to Come and Tab Me. This is a Cantab Hall, February 15th, dual eligible, Pennsylvania and Kentucky filly here in Kentucky. Now, we'd seen at least one, if not 2, of the exact same thing. And I had made a video actually about the other one. In the second dam, you see the bank, King of the Hill, and then Going Kronos down in the third dam. 2 world champions in the pedigree, a stud here in the second dam. The second dam herself, Lantern Cosmos, made $1 million and was Dan Patch Trotting Filly of the Year in 2008. Now, this one's a little better too in the sense that the full brother, Osterich, made $550,000, and this is the full brother to this horse. This is a good-looking filly. I'll be honest, when I looked through the catalog the first time, I liked it. I put a little check mark here, but it wasn't like, hey, I have to go over and look at this horse right away. This was a horse that Amy had actually pulled out and said, hey, this horse was on our list, and she most definitely is. Her name is Come and Tab Me, number 531. This is a horse that looks very, very nice here. And of all the sires, I can't imagine that Cantab Hall is going to have the same pull that he's had in the past. Not a ton of them in the sale this year, and I suspect, listen, very, very quality stud, but I suspect if you're going to find value, this would definitely be one of the ones I would wager on us finding. So this is a very good-looking filly. This horse has stable written all over her. We'll see if we can pick her up. Number 531, Come and Tab Me. 5:31 selling late day 3, early day 4, something like that, here in Lexington. Can you walk her down for me, sir?
Sure.
She's a little cut on her left front ankle, but that's not going to bother her. It's going to heal up probably by the end of the sale. You can see that bump on the outside of her left front ankle, but it's nothing. It's a little scratch. Wow, that's a nice looking horse, eh? There's a sleeper. Good girl. Nice looking horse. Well, here we have a muscle mass colt. Now, this is a good looking colt. I like this colt's video. I like the way he's built. The muscle masses usually have a certain type of body build. This horse does not have that body build. That's not a bad thing. Now, Chocolatier mare, this is a very weak first dam, 0 for 4. Let's see if there's any updates here. I'm gonna throw my pen around. Updates, none on the first dam at all. So this would be the 4th foal, the first 3, not much to talk about. And I don't really know why. There's always usually a backstory there. I see there's 1 swan for all showing. I don't know what the other 2 are by. I could find out pretty quick, I suppose. But the second dam has quite easy, 409,000 Andover Hall mare. She was a good horse. Stickman Mo was in there. He was a lunatic, but he was fast. I drove that horse a couple of times. And then Passionate Glide in the 3rd. So although the first dam was very weak and does not show a whole lot of anything, the 2nd and 3rd dams are kind of strong. So looking at this horse, and we've done this a lot, we'll generally rely on the 2nd and 3rd dams sometimes to prop up a horse. But when I look at this horse, you have muscle mass, so they usually trot, they're usually pretty solid animals, and a sister to, you know, a very good horse and a very strong family. Can you walk him down again, dear horse, please? You know, I do like this horse. I will forgive the front dam, and I will rely on the 2nd and 3rd dam. This is the type of horse that we bought in the past, and this is the type of horse that we'll continue to look at in the future. So although this horse is 0 for 3 in the front end, and that is a bit concerning, I am going to rely on what is sitting underneath that mare, which is a very, very strong family. This is a muscle mass colt, April 17th, Ontario and Kentucky eligible colt. His name is Saturday. Good name. Saturday, selling on Wednesday. So this is Saturday here, a colt by Muscle Mass. I like this colt. The horse's name is Saturday? Yeah.
Getting set for day number 3 of the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale as we come to the halfway point of this year's sale. Right here at Fasig-Tipton, you get a great look at the conditions here today. Perfect weather. Beautiful day. Coming back to the desk, Mark McKelvey with Anthony McDowell. Anthony joining us a busy morning once again. We just took a look at some of the horses that you're going to have an eye on today. But before we can get to today, we obviously have to go back to yesterday. And it felt like a bit of a marathon session. Give us your overview. We will go horse by horse on the 5 purchases. But overall, how did you see day 2 shaking out?
I mentioned it in a number of the videos we did. I think we've had a great sale. It wasn't the sale I thought it would be when we got here, but as I said to you, you have to have all these different avenues available, and it all has to revolve around value. So it really doesn't matter whether we're, you know, as we talked about yesterday, bidding on that high-end horse or bidding on another horse. It all has to have that root, that foundation of value. And you know, all the horses we went through, all of them. Yesterday and today, and my wife and I on the way over here looking at all the horses, and I think that's exactly what we were able to do. Whether it be the tactical landings, which I noticed Gary Burry on the line was very impressed with the purchases of the tactical landings. Gary, I got some bad news for you. Those will not be the last tactical landings we buy. Maybe not even in Kentucky, but most definitely in 2022. I love tactical landing because I like what he's shown us in the horses that we have. But I like the value he offers in horse racing. You and I were talking about it. You know, he's in pretty good company at this sale as far as where he sits on the list of horses overall per horse.
Yep.
So when you can buy horses that are much lower than that price, that have good conformation and have a good eye and a good body on them, you're on the right path, I believe. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with what's taken place so far.
I believe there's 7 sires where the average price is over $100,000 at this sale so far over the first 2 days. Tactical Landing among those sires that we mentioned. 5 horses yesterday, 8 in total through the first 2 days. Is that kind of what you were expecting when it comes to numbers, or did you even set a number?
You know, I didn't set a number. I really didn't think about it. You know, we have a budget. Right, we have numbers that are going to go into that budget, and whether that's divided by 15, 12, 10, 9, it didn't matter. I want to get the best horses we can get. You know, at the end of the day, it's all going to land on me. If the horses don't work out, they are horses, and everybody can say, oh, that's racing. But this is the stable, and it is on us what the horses look like year in and year out. We're going to do the best we can. And if it works out next summer, great. And if it doesn't, then we'll regroup and we'll figure out what we're doing moving forward.
We got so many clients tuning in here today, and I know you mentioned to me before we came on camera the fact that you wanted to address maybe some of the partnerships and some of the moving that you're going to have to do with some of the shares. I'll give you the ball to run with it right now and just kind of explain how things are looking right now.
So for our clients that were involved with us, you know how the buckets are working. We have that premium horse that we were going to spend upwards of $150. Now, I went over that when I bought King of the North Sister, and it's not really fair to force people to pay more because I paid more.
Right.
Even though I think that horse at that price was very, very good. So I think that the fair thing to do would be to reach out to the people in that preferred horse bucket. Now, assuming that we don't buy another one that fits in it.
Right.
When it comes to a horse like King of the North Sister, it's not hard to sell those shares out of this filly. They're going to move very quickly. If we open them up or we close them off, it's really not going to matter. But I do want to do what's best and what's the fairest for everybody. And if we do move that filly outside of that premium horse, as I put it, then those people will obviously have first opportunity to buy into that horse too. So I think it's just the most fair way to do it. In regards to the pacer, Arson, that pacer was never meant to be in the buckets. I told everybody, it was well documented the last week that Mr. Cordina had come over here from Australia. He did. He was a main driving function behind us bidding on Tall Dark Stranger's brother and Seaglass's sister, Beach Glass's sister, sorry, and Pebble Beach's brother. We didn't get those horses. We did get Arson, and he is going to have his decision of what he wants to buy of that horse. Now, he always wanted to have that horse in the stable, so there will be shares available of Arson, but he will not be in a bucket. So it's up to me to move everything around. I don't think anybody will be upset where we put the horses. We've got some real nice quality animals that we purchased here, and we're going to continue that trend today. But I just want everybody to understand the stress that I go through right now is trying to rearrange everything. You know, we were late getting over here because we were doing videos of the horses yesterday. We're doing videos of the horses that are coming in the ring today. Just so much going on. It's extreme. It's a lot of fun, but it's really taxing.
It certainly is. A lot of moving parts, and they seem to be changing by the minute. We're going to go back now and take a look at the 5 horses that you purchased yesterday. I believe Curtis behind the scenes has those videos ready to rock. So we're going to start first with hip number 155, Sully's Landing, New Jersey and Kentucky eligible. A tactical landing colt here out of the Winson's Legacy mare, Backs of Life. I remember her racing back in Ontario. She was quite talented, made over $600,000.
You might be a little young for Fax Machine that is down here in the fourth, eh? Fax Machine.
I know the name, of course.
Very, very nice horse.
But let's go through this one here. Sully's Landing, $47,000 was the price.
So I loved Sully's Landing. I hate telling people what I priced them at or talking about it, but you can see a little number I put right there. So Sully's Landing, tactical landing, dual eligible colt, March 30th. As far as the date, as far as the breeding, I'm very happy. I mean, this is Ontario blood. So whether it be, and if I'm not mistaken, right from Fax Machine on up was John Bax and Russell Bax. Now, Backs of Life, I believe at the end of it was campaigned by Rod Duford, if I'm not mistaken, was the owner of the horse. Very, very tough mare. Magic Wanda, mid-condition horse. No killer, but just a meat and potatoes, run-of-the-mill, put the horse in, collect a check every type horse. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, when you look at Sully's Landing, here's a very, very good-looking horse. Well put together, much bigger than Magic Wanda was, and she was a Cadabra. So here you have a quality mare, just a hard-knocking, week in, week out, made $600,000 type mare, and then you have all of the horses underneath. just a quality family, not a blue blood family, but a quality family, but a really, really nice individual sitting behind that family. So for me, Sully's Landing was a very, very easy ticket to punch at $47,000.
We got a good look at this colt. You're getting a peek right now. Today you went and checked them out. Was this one that we'd gotten a good look at before yesterday?
Yeah, this was a horse that Amy loved. This horse was on Amy's list, my list. Everybody in our group that accompanied us to the sales pavilion loved Sully's Landing on day one when we looked at him. And he's just very, very happy that we picked up this colt. Especially, you know, I told everybody I thought that our way in, especially before the sale and most definitely after day one, was single jurisdiction. Well, this guy's a dual eligible also.
Nice to have that. And you mentioned about Backs of Life, the mare. Talk about her durability. She won the Miss Versatility when she was 7 years old. And so, you know, to beat some of the Grand Circuit mares at that age, it just shows what a great career that she had. Let's move on to hip number 176, Pickpocket. Another dual eligible, New Jersey and Kentucky. This is a Walner colt out of the Cantab Hall mare. Can't Have My Money. This is Moneymaker blood right here. Moneymaker, the second dam. $47,000 as well here for Pickpocket.
Yeah, I really can't explain to you how Pickpocket only went for $47,000. We just went and did a video of the horse again. I looked at him on day one, but this is a type of horse. I mean, I was being super conservative when I put that price there, and that's quite a bit higher than what he went for. I just didn't think that this was a horse that we could acquire. I thought that Pickpocket wouldn't have shocked me if he had found his way to six figures. And it is much more shocking that he didn't even get half that.
Right.
I really thought, now people are going to look, this is something we always do. When you take a look at the individual, and this is a gorgeous horse, and you see all that pedigree behind it, that's very interesting. Now people look at that first dam and say, Anthony, you know, the horse is, as of right now, for the most part, 0 for 5, right? Or is it 5? 0 for 5. Well, that might be concerning to people, but I don't know what the other 5 horses look like. All I can see is one on there who was a Muscle Hill. The other one was a Walner. I don't know what those horses look like as individuals. I can only tell you what Pickpocket looks like. This is the type of horse we want. You factor in the fact that, again, you have dual eligibility with this colt. He's a Walner, probably the most sought-after sire in North America. And the family that you'd mentioned behind it, there's international money. We love buying international monies. Well, he's in the second dam. And his mother in the second dam was a world champion. So it's very difficult to find this type of pedigree for this price. I'm not going to go out and say none of this matters because it's next July, next August, next September. I can tell you a great story, you know, about how the horse is fantastic, but at the end of the day, they have to show up. What we're trying to do is find the most value we can in every horse so that next year we maybe have a step forward when we start to go on the track. And there's no guarantees, but I can tell you that you show me Pickpockets for $47,000 all day long, you know, I'd be very happy.
You're going to be intrigued. There's no doubt about that. You mentioned about New Jersey and Kentucky, and I know you're going to obviously aim for the stars. You want to have as much success as you can, but you look at those programs right now and some of the opportunities, even if you're not at that top tier, still quite a bit of money and opportunities to race for. And Pickpocket, a Walner colt acquired for $47,000. That was hip number 176. You didn't waste any time.
Didn't take it.
Came right back. Hip number 177, Vaquero Blue Chip. It's a Father Patrick colt out of the Muscles Yankee mare, Southwind Caitlin. And Southwind Caitlin, this mare here, she has produced several winners. So proven, $50,000 was the ticket. What can you tell us about this Father Patrick colt?
This is probably one of the better bred horses we bought overall. We talked about, again, before the sale, how we were going to find our way into quality bloodlines. And I think Father Patrick, Tactical Landing, we talked about before, maybe that single jurisdiction, like this guy is just Pennsylvania. Everybody, again, that was traveling with us loved this horse. Amy picked this horse out first and foremost and had us go over and look at this horse. Went out of our way to look at this horse first. Did a video of him. Every year we find ourselves looking at a relative of Spider Blue Chip, just because it's quality, right? You mentioned Southwind Caitlin, you know, herself, $203,000, a Muscles Yankee mare, but Spider Blue Chip, Berkery J, Union Forces. I had a discussion last night with Scott Zeron. He drove a lot of the horses in that top dam also, said he loved Union Forces. Now, I don't particularly remember Union Forces, but he most definitely did. And the thing that I also like, Mark, is you see a lot of 2-year-old marks in this family.
Right.
Then you scroll down to the second, and I love the way it splits off in multiple directions. You see Broadway Donna, Broadway Schooner in there, Real Cool Sam. All those horses just kind of split off in different directions, and those horses themselves have quality in their families. So not only is this a nice horse and a nice family, it's a nice family tree. So number 177, Vaquero Blue Chip, is a horse that I just thought at 50,000, again, most of the purchases we made have been very, very easy to do. There hasn't been any nail biters. We've lost the nail biters we had, all of them. But when you look at even whether it be King of the North sister, which is a lot of money, but again, less than I thought she'd bring. None of those horses were like, I don't know. I didn't have any buyer's remorse going to bed or waking up the next day because all the horses we purchased have been below what I thought they would bring.
Like I said, that was hip number 177. So when you're in that position where you are, back ring, set up, and you go from 176, is it just a case of, hold on, everybody, we're going to take care of business on the next one? Yeah, that's a great question, and I'll answer it quite easily. 176 was not on our buy list. 176 was on a horse to watch list. Right. I thought, as I said to you a minute ago, that he might travel up somewhere around 6 figures, which we weren't interested in him at that. But at 47, it was easy to say yes. We were there watching for 177, who most definitely was on our buy list. And when he came up well under what I thought he could bring, but I did believe we had a shot at that guy. Right. We weren't there for 176, but we're waiting in the wings. And when opportunity presented itself, we took it. Right. Knocks at the door, you open that door. That's right. Let's move on. 218 Arson. You've already talked a little bit about this Captain Treacherous colt. And again, you just look at the page and does it ever pop out? Here is a sibling to the champion Pure Country, $85,000 and dual eligible once again, Pennsylvania and Kentucky. You have to be thrilled to be bringing home Arson. Yeah, it's such a great story surrounding this particular horse too. It became evident to me that we weren't going to be able to acquire the horses that we wanted at that top level. So we were on the lookout for top pedigree, and we still found it. Yeah. We just didn't have to pay a ton of money for it. Now, it was great because I had a wonderful conversation. Daniel was here, and he didn't really want a foal from an older mare, right? And I'm always touting the individual in front of me. I don't care. We can go back and forth, but look, Marion Marauder, Courtly Choice, Better Than Cheddar, and Bulldog Hanover. These are all old mares and foals. Multiple. How old is Bulldog? Bulldog's like 15, I think. 17. I think it is. Yeah. So I mean, there's just nothing there that I don't have a lot of interest in arguing whether the viability of an older mare. Just show me the individual in front of me. Right. And I had said this to Daniel. I said, I know that you want a younger mare, but Daniel, if you look at this pedigree, this is a 3/4 brother to a world champion in Pure Country. 3/4 brother. And we won't even talk about Grand Teton, who also $500,000 made in a mark of 48. Yeah. You can just scroll down, and the most interesting part of this particular family is this year's horse. Yeah, Charleston. If you don't like the 11th foal, you must not have liked the 10th foal, but Charleston is arguably the second best horse in the division behind Sylvia Hanover. Yeah. Charleston, and quite an update. When you're looking at the pedigree and you look down and you say, oh, there's Charleston, 55 as a 2-year-old, $17,000 made. That's okay. You hit this little update tab. Yep. That's quite an update. It is. Now a mark of 151 and 3 and $134,388 made. And as I said, winner of the leg of the She's a Great Lady, beat fair and square by a pretty special filly in Sylvia Hanover. And then you look down, also winner of the Kindergarten Classic Series. This horse, the first foal, the 10th foal, are destined to be, well, one is a world champion, and one looks like it's going to be a very serious player in this division. So how can you argue the viability, not the viability of a mare, when the one from the 10th was good? Why can you say the one from the 11th foal can't be? Arson is a very, very good-looking colt out of an extremely strong family. The only difference is we didn't get outbid at $300 for this guy. We got to bring him home for $85,000. Yeah, great acquisition here. Just going back to the topic about some of the younger or the older families, most people you talk to always intrigued by a first colt or the younger families. What is that? Why are people, for the clients out there that are wondering why some people are against older families, do you have kind of an explanation for that? I don't. You know, there's a lot of things that people do in this industry that make them feel super comfortable, and not a lot of them I buy into. I mean, I try to make it as simple as I can. You can show me the catalog, you can show me the videos, you can show me the horse. Yep. That's the one that has to. We don't race catalogs, we don't race videos, we race horses. And if you show me a talented looking animal, show me an athlete that is put together well with a sharp eye on him, and I'm going to lean towards that horse every single time. And I know that people, you know, there's a million different old wives' tales in this industry, but oh, you can't do this and you can't do that, you do this. It doesn't matter. We're racing the horses, just show me the horse. These pedigrees are wonderful. They'll point you in the right direction. Sure, I want to have Arson's blood. Yeah. I want to have that horse.
But we didn't have to pay for that horse. For some reason, we paid for another horse yesterday, from what I can see, because that, given Charleston and everything that goes around with this horse, is not an $85,000 horse. And if he is, then there's people that overpaid for some horses over the last 2 days, in my estimation.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that think that that's probably happened the last couple of days. Average price yesterday was over $90,000. That was the highest second day average in quite some time. We move on to your final purchase of the day. Later in the day, $361. Pull the shoes. $22,000 was when the hammer dropped here on a green shoe filly. First crop of green shoe. Has to be exciting to get one of these.
Yeah, so again, most of the horses we buy come with a pretty intriguing story. There's a lot that goes on here. Right. We waited all day, and as you know, I don't know, you waited till the end of the sale too. We all had, everybody in Lexington had dinner reservations last night and thought they would make them, and everybody was almost late for them. So this was a 7-hour marathon sale yesterday, and I'll be the first, I won't be the first to say it, I will say it. It was too long.
Yeah.
It was too long. That sale yesterday was too long, and you could tell the last hour people just looked tired, beat up, and they were leaving.
Right.
So this is not, I was not there to get Pull the Shoes. I did not see Pull the Shoes out of her stall until today. I saw her in the back ring, which is more than enough time. I mean, you want to put your time in, but you can only look at so many horses.
Yeah.
When I look at Pull the Shoes, I mean, I'm looking at a green shoe, Pennsylvania filly, who's out of a sister to 6-pack. Mm-hmm. That is not an attainable horse for us.
Right.
That horse is not a horse that we are going to look at because we believe we could buy it. It's maybe a little short of that top-end horse we're looking for on pedigree,
right.
But this is the type of horse the stable buys. Mm-hmm. This is our horse. And I was not there to look at Pull the Shoes. I didn't miss my dinner reservations almost to miss Pull the Shoes. I was looking for number 360.
Okay.
We came there to buy Carter Michael Dio's brother.
Yes.
We waited for Carter Michael Dio's brother, but quite frankly, I had a price on Carter Michael Dio's brother. And I fielded a lot of emails and calls today and messages from people, maybe even a little disappointed we didn't buy him. But what people have to understand is we already have Carter Michael Dio. Mm-hmm. This is his brother. They're not the same horse. Mm-hmm. And this, I believe this horse, although he's built well and looks good, I don't think he looked as good as Carter Michael Dio did. And quite frankly, I'm not going to argue with Melander Racing. They seem to know what they're doing. Yeah. So I'm not going to argue with them. $47,000 is maybe a lot less than they were willing to pay. But we had a price on this horse. We didn't get a chance to buy him for $47 also. Mm-hmm. That was somebody else's bid.
Okay.
And when I see the name Melander, I highly doubt he was stopping anytime soon. So we couldn't have even bought him for $50. You might have been looking at $70 or $75 or who knows. It just wasn't for us. Mm-hmm. Although I love Carter Michael Dio and I hold him in extremely high regard, this is not him, and I had to put a price on this horse. You can see the price I put there.
Yep.
You know, and that's a little bit lower than even I went on the horse last night, but I was not going any further. So just in the off, I like to look around too, and as we're looking at Carter Michael Dio's brother walking around the back ring, I noticed this filly. I said to Amy, hey, did we look at 361? Now, she had notes on 361, but the beauty of this app also is there's different colors to write in. So I'll write in orange when I pick up the catalog, and then I'll write in black when I've seen the horse. Right. So she says, no, we both liked the filly, but she was not on our list. Mm-hmm. We didn't see her. So we walked out back, and as Carter Michael Dio's brother is walking in the back ring, we're stopping and looking at Pull the Shoes.
Right.
And I said, Jesus, nice filly. She goes, well, Anthony, she's a green shoe out of the sister to 6-pack. Great. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that you really like this filly, but what do you think you're going to do with her?
Yeah.
And I said, you're right. I said, it's only a couple minutes after Carter's brother, so we don't get Carter's brother.
We'll take a look.
We'll take a look at Pull the Shoes. Carter's brother went for 47. I let him go. Pull the Shoes come in the ring. We almost had this filly at 17. They almost dropped the hammer at 17. Somebody jumped in late. I was shocked. I had told Amy, I said, 35 is bottom line. It would be the bottom end of what she could be worth. Right. If we can acquire this filly for 35, and Amy said the same thing, that's a beautiful filly.
Yeah.
So for her to come to us for 22, I know, if you were here and you were here, it was pretty thinned out last night at the end of the sale. If you were in the sales pavilion last night, in the ring last night, it was to buy a horse. And many of the people were likely there to look at Miles Dio.
Yep.
But the next one in the ring, I don't think anybody can argue that the ball wasn't dropped a little bit on this filly. This is 2 horses before everybody was going home. We were all tired. Yeah. We were all exhausted. And I believe that's what happened with Pull the Shoes, because this is not a $22,000 filly. Not if you go on what we saw take place the last 2 days. I'm not going to tell you what she's worth. I'm just telling you she's worth a lot more given the atmosphere we're in right now. Mm-hmm. that was a mistake.
Well, we talked about it on day one that there was going to be no horses slipping through the cracks, but now we're at that part in the sale.
That's right.
And, you know,
Yep.
232 horses, that was before the outs that were supposed to go through the ring yesterday. 237 today. So we're looking at a lot of the exact same.
A long day ahead
Those
of us.
opportunities might be there as this day goes.
They will, and it's so weird when you're in Lexington. The day one people are a lot like the day two people, but then you start to see the crowd shift.
Yep.
From people that know that I'm not buying a day one Lexington horse, you see a different crowd of people come in day four, and then when you hit day five, it's a totally different sale.
Big time.
When that regional stuff starts coming in, it's all different people. It's like somebody transported an entire sale and put it here, and all the people you saw all week are gone, and there's new people here. It's the weirdest thing. And today you will see a shift. You will see lulls in the sale. You will see horses that go through the ring and you're like, I will field 50 emails today from people saying, what happened? Why did this horse only bring this?
Right.
I guarantee you I will. We're not going to buy them all, but we're going to buy what we want today. I'm almost certain of that.
Well, we already watched a package a little bit earlier of 6 horses that you've had a chance to inspect. Coming into today, is there anything that's really jumping out at you? You don't even have to maybe get specific, but are there any trotting fillies or trotting colts that you're really excited about?
There were a couple of Ontario breds I was very interested in. We haven't done any business for Ontario yet, which is also a little bit, that will muddy the waters for us also because we have put together Ontario buckets for Ontario.
Yeah.
And the questions are going to start to come in. Is that horse for an Ontario bucket? Is that horse for a Lexington bucket? So I'm even left doing 2 puzzles at the same time today. We do have some Ontario horses we're looking at. Again, for Gary, we do have some tactical landings lined up for him to look at today also. I won't let it go, Gary. We have some international money horses, Father Patrick's. And you know what the interesting thing is, we have been approached by breeders that either their horses were scratched out of the catalog or they retained them and bought them back. And I have no problem with breeders doing that. You know what your horses are worth.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just give them away. But what a lot of those breeders will do, this is how the stable was started. This was one of the pillars of the stable, was allowing breeders to buy their horses back if they wanted, come to us and work with us. We've already been approached by 2 breeders to do that. So you might see a 6-pack and a Father Patrick join the stable privately and quietly over the next few days.
All right, well, it's going to be a busy day. As we mentioned, over 230 horses scheduled to pass through the ring here this afternoon. Let's continue to take a closer look at some of the horses we'll be profiling later today.
It's number 411, Militant. Now, Militant is a brother to a horse we have. I will not mention her name because she was not a good horse, but Nancy Allison. But I'm pretty sure she was. Look in this pedigree. This is a very strong family, though. Charmed Life is a very nice mare in her own right, and is throwing some pretty decent horses. Another horse with lots of pedigree here. This is a 6-pack, so first crop, New Jersey, Kentucky eligible. But the ones that I saw out of this mare were all fillies. This is certainly not. This is a big, giant colt. He is a good-looking bugger. Can you walk him down for me, dear? And I like everything I see here. This is the type of horse that, you know, probably should bring decent money, but we'll be waiting. My God, he's a good-looking horse. I just don't know. We haven't seen enough of the 6-packs go through the ring. I know one of the horses we were looking at yesterday, 6-pack Tony, went for a lot of money. He was one of our top picks from yesterday we did not get. And I'll tell you one thing, there is not one reason, you can't make one reason why we wouldn't be interested in Militant here, selling today at Lexington. Man, he's got a really, really nice body, really nice video, strong family. There's really no knocks on this horse at all. Can you walk him down one more time? There's really no knocks on this colt at all. Which leads me to believe that other people will be very interested in Militant. But as I said yesterday, you know, whether it be a green shoe at the later part of the sale or a Chapter 7 for no particular reason at all, if you're not paying attention, you're not waiting, you can miss horses pretty easy. And I don't plan on missing number 411 Militant go through the ring here today in Lexington. So this number 421 Sprightly. This horse does not have the same pedigree as the 3 that we had looked at before. A little thinner, a little weaker, toed out a little bit. Can you walk her down for me, man? Toed out just a little bit. Her video looks nice, though. I just had a long conversation yesterday with a couple other horsemen about the horses that are toed out or toed in and what my thoughts were. That's all right. Can you just walk her right down? Thanks. So again, this 421 Sprightly. You know, looking at the filly, honestly, I'm a little torn. I know how much I liked her video. I know how much I like the horse herself. She's not without her slights, her imperfections, but at the same time, sharp head, nice looking body on her. Out of a Muscle Hill mare. Now this dam, again, you have to look down to the third dam before you really start digging into the meat of the bone here. Second dam herself was a good horse. 384 made by Classic Photo, 15 wins, a mark of 53 flat. So good mare herself. Cree, 51,000 by Muscle Hill, so just a Muscle Hill mare. But this isn't a muscle, this is a six-pack, and you know, I really thought we'd find a little more value from six-pack. I figured Green Shoe would be tough, but six-pack might be a little more up our alley. This horse, okay, this is gonna be a price horse. You're gonna have to show me the proper price on number 421 Sprightly, and I'll be happy to bring her home. There's nothing holding her back. There's not me saying, I didn't bring her out to do a video of her to say, I don't really like this one. I do like this one. But as I said, if you take a look at her, as Cam's showing you right now, there is some imperfections on this filly. Horses that are trotters that are toed out a little bit like that, you know, they generally, you can look at them and say, they might hit their knees. Well, they might. And that's where the video does come in handy. If you look at Sprightly's video, it looks like she might get up over those knees, or she might not touch them at all. But, as I said, it would demand a price. There's no point in me pulling out a bunch of horses and saying, this is ours, this is ours, this is ours. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. When I look at this horse, and I'm looking at her video right now as I'm talking to you, when you look at her go across the field and come back the other way, she doesn't look like she's going to hit at all. Right there, right in the middle of her stride. Trots up over her knee. I like what I see here with this filly. I think she might be a good value play for us here on day 3, if there's such a thing, in Lexington 2022. Sprightly number 421 is a horse on my list. I am watching very, very closely. All right, we'll do this. This is Sue Ann. Sue Ann's not a big filly. This is a muscle mass filly. That's okay. Muscle masses, I love them. They come in all shapes and sizes. Small ones can be good, the big ones can be good, and the small ones can be bad, and the big ones can be bad. But you know what? You gotta do the best you can and look at value when it comes to these horses. I'm looking at Laddie in the third dam, Duchess Hanover in the second dam, and this is the second foal from a Holiday Road now, Holiday Road mare. Now, Holiday Road wasn't a fantastic sire, maybe didn't get the best mares he could have, but he was a good horse on the racetrack. So out of Dalliance Sealster, who is a sister to Duchess Sealster. So we have an interesting looking pedigree here on this filly. She's well put together. Can you walk her down? Can you walk her down for me? Interesting looking pedigree on her, but she's a good looking filly. She, as I said, she's well put together. Nice video, very straight, very correct. Nothing really to slight her on. Just watching her walk there. No, she looks good. So number 427 is a horse. Listen, this filly, it's pretty easy. This horse is going to come down to value. Are we going to be able to buy this horse at a, I'm not going to use discounted because that would be unfair, but at a fair market value price for this filly? If we can pick up Sue Ann for Ontario, I certainly have no problems with that. I like her a lot. She's put together well, and there's no reason to actually not like her. So number 427, Sue Ann, although, as I said, value has to be the name of the game with Sue Ann. If we find it, old Sue could be coming to Ontario with us. Hi, Sue. Hey, Sue. How you doing, girl? Thank you. And? So this is number 435. This is a Father Patrick dual eligible filly. Now, I told you guys when we started this, listen, there's lots and lots of really, really good looking horses. And what we have to do is figure out the ones that look the best for the money we're paying for them. And their pedigree has to match, right? When I look at 435, I'm looking down at Fashion Feline in the second dam, Credit Fashion. This is a very strong family with a very young mare. Now, she has had one previous foal, Talisman. I know this name somehow, Talisman. I can't place it. Talismano, sorry. That's what I thought. I knew Talisman. I don't know Talismano. Talismano is a Muscle Hill, I assume 2-year-old, qualified in 59 and 4, winning. No, it's a 3-year-old. It took a mark of 157 and 4 as a 3-year-old. Trotted in 54. I would say just a very average animal on paper. I don't know the horse, but I would say a very average looking animal. But this filly right here, she is far from average looking. This is a very, very good looking filly. Now, again, we're trying to find horses with strong pedigrees that look good. See the right front ankle on this filly's got a little bump on it. Sometimes they come here and they get little bumps here and there, but no big deal. Can you walk her down for me, sir? So this is number 435, Nicole Secret. Sure, Nicole Secret. It's a Donato, out of a Donato Hanover mare, made 80,000. Took a 2-year-old mark, and that's very important. When you look down the page, you know, for us, we want to race our 2-year-olds. Look down the page, look at the first, second, third dam. See how many horses have that little 2, that 2-year-old mark beside them, and there is plenty of them in this dam. Man, this is a good-looking filly. Number 435, her name is Nicole Secret, another horse that we are very, very interested in here in Kentucky today. She moves nice, another great video. And again, you look at the pedigree, you see lots of talent, lots of speed. And a little something I always want to look at too is those 2s. How many horses in these mares have 2-year-old marks? Fashion Feline was a champion, if I'm not mistaken. A very, very nice horse. 2-year-old mark at 54 and 3. 3-year-old mark at 53 and 3. Crescent Fashion is down there. 2-year-old mark at 58. Mark at 55 is a 3-year-old, but I went on to make 475,000. Is actually a stud, I believe, now in Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. Just as I said, lots of speed, lots of talent, lots of black type on the page. Number 435, Nicole Secret. So we're going to run through some horses for today. I looked at this horse. I might have actually done a video for this horse earlier on. I don't know. Number 445, Alfa Romeo. Man, this is a good-looking colt. This seems to be, looking at the trends of the sale throughout the last 2 days, this seems to be a horse we might be able to afford. Now, this is a Father Patrick, dual eligible, Pennsylvania and Kentucky, colt, who is a half out of a sister to Southwind Frank. And if you look through this, again, through this pedigree all the way back to the 4th dam, you see horses that raced at the top level. So again, day 3, not really sure why this guy's, I guess day 3 is still going to be strong. This is a Muscle Hill mare. Her name was Southwind Fiat. Again, a little soft on the top end, I guess. Just exactly what we're always looking for. A lot of class, a lot of talent. Show me a good-looking athlete out of a pedigree that looks good, and we'll forgive a lot on the top end. And when it comes to Alfa Romeo, this is a mare from one previous foal who raced, made $80,000. A Point of Perfect is the name. Let me see if there's any updates on Point of Perfect. Now timed in 153 and 198,000 made. Third in Kentucky. So at least a horse that's trotted in 53 is I'm assuming a 3-year-old now. No, that's a 2-year-old. No, that's a 2-year-old. So Point of Perfect is a 2-year-old that is trotted in 53 in Kentucky. And that's the only foal out of this mare. So Alfa Romeo's sister or brother, or does it say this? Brother. Alfa Romeo's brother, Point of Perfect, has trotted in 53 and made $98,000 this year already. This is a Father Patrick half-brother. I love this horse. Like I said, just show me a good-looking horse, and I'll show you a horse we're interested in. This is a good-looking horse. Can you walk him down for me, dear? Thank you. Number 445, Alfa Romeo. Yep, it's very well put together. A real nice video. Really like this guy. That's great, thank you. Well, here is a Resolve. Now, we have a Chestnut Resolve. I'm not buying all the Chestnut Resolves because we have a nice one. This is a nice Chestnut Resolve. This is Soar Higher. He's a Resolve, just Ontario sired, April 1st colt, out of a Yankee Glide mare. Now, this is Up and Ready, who is a very nice horse. This is Up and Ready's brother. So it's not like he is going to slide through the sale. Pretty guy, got a real strong neck with a smaller type body. He's got a real nice build to him. I like everything about this guy, actually. Can you walk him up, sir, a little bit? A nice video too, this guy. So 454 soar higher. Good looking horse with some strong pedigree behind him. And then you look in the second dam, you have Maven also. So lots of pedigree. It's always nice when they only have 2 dams on the entire page. You can tell there's some power in there. 454 soar higher, resolve colt out of a Yankee glide mare. Glide by. Oh my. He's got a pretty head on him too. My God, these resolves, did he ever stamp them nice? Yeah, what he said. This is soar higher number 454, selling today, day 3 in Lexington.
Own a little and love it a lot. Thestable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. Thestable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at thestable.ca.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine recently introduced its exciting new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To create your account or learn more, visit www.preferredequine.com or call 914-773-7777.
All right, and our coverage of the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale continues here this afternoon from Fezzik-Tipton. Mark McKelvey on the desk. Pleased to be joined by a special guest trainer, Chris Ryder. You know quite a bit about winning major races, and a lot of the times it starts at the yearling sales and starts at a sale like this here in Lexington. First of all, do you remember the first time you came to Lexington and what that experience was like?
Yeah, I unfortunately I do remember it was. I came here and did a lot of looking, a lot of homework, and never bought a horse. So that was okay. But anyway, we've progressed from there and actually able to buy a few now. So. Oh
yeah, buy a few you have done. You mentioned you've got 8 already over the first 2 days. When you come to this sale, do you have a target in mind? Is it more of the target is money, or is it the amount of horses you want to come home with?
Well, really, the plan is really not that set. As a buyer and trying to pick out horses, my plan is not to spend X amount of dollars or not to buy 5 or 15 horses. My plan is to just forget the plan and concentrate on the horse and just try and pick out the ones that I want to take home. It sounds a little simplistic. It's pretty tricky to do. Sometimes it works. But basically that's my objective. I don't want to have a set plan that it has to be a certain type of horse. Obviously I have to like the page, but I am mainly swayed by the individual, but it has to have a good page. So that's our plan, if you want to call it that.
The game plan is just to go with the flow, find those opportunities. The first couple of nights have been really strong. Night one was incredible. Yesterday, which turned into night by the time things wrapped up, the average price was over $90,000. With the way this sale has been the last several years, where it's been so strong, did you expect it just to be more of the same this year? Because
Yes,
it certainly hasn't backed down.
No. Anyone who thought the sale wasn't going to be strong, weren't paying attention. No, I wasn't surprised, and it's a good thing. I think it's fine. We overpay a little bit here and there, but it's it's about, like I say, it goes back to the same thing, trying to get the horse you want. It's not necessarily about getting a bargain, and the breeders have had dry years, and it's just fine for them to be above water.
Exactly, there's no doubt about that.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the horses that you've purchased, and coming into this sale, one of the new sires, Better's Wish. How excited were you to see his first crop now in a spot like this at the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale? You did pick up one, hip number 117, a Better's Wish, pacing colt. The dam, she was pretty good herself, Treacherous Rain. How excited were you to acquire hip number 117?
Very excited. It was, he was a nice individual, and the page is great, and but it's just really nice to go around and see the Better's Wishes, how nice heads and nice and correct and smart, and haven't heard anything negative from any of the breeders. They're very happy with their foals and yearlings. It's a small crop. There's only 39 this year, not many in the sale. The Jersey breds, the crop that he bred when he was racing as a 4-year-old, and usually we wouldn't have bred him as a 4-year-old, but it was COVID and some of the races weren't going, and we bred him and while he was in training, and if it wasn't a COVID year, it probably wouldn't have happened, but that's how that came about. So it's 39 in this crop, following year is PA, and it's a full crop.
7 of them in this sale from that 39 that you mentioned. Would you take a look at all of them?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So I bought one, might buy one more. I have some I've bred myself, and a few people are going to give me some of their homebreds. So I'll have my fair share.
Yeah, it's an exciting time, I'm sure. And that New Jersey program, the pacing stallions are starting to come there now, so there's going to be some real opportunities to make money over these next coming years. You have to like that.
Yeah, the pacing stallion in New Jersey, obviously Perfect Sting's arrived, and Lazarus has been there. His first crop racing this year. I've got a nice Lazarus colt that's made me almost 200 already, a beautiful horse. I'm very happy with the Lazarus, so it's good for Jersey.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Now, Walner is one that I've noticed you've acquired a few of them. Talk a bit about the Walners, because obviously they took the racing world by storm. Is that one of those sires that you came here really targeting to acquire a few?
Yeah, I'm quite surprised. I trained 2 Walners last year. One didn't make it, and the other one's a really nice filly called Walner Payton. Walner's got a terrific siring record. They're tough, they're fast, and I'm a little surprised I was able to buy what I have been able to. I bought 4 of them. I was 4 or 5, I think 4, and we paid up to 150, and one was 525. But I'm sure they're well worth it. It's a terrific stallion, and I was really surprised that I've been able to buy them.
Now, with the prominence when it came on that first night to the trotters and the focus on them, you talk a bit about maybe having to overpay in some of these spots, though. But I guess when you think about it, it's the cost of doing business in this sport right now, and you're looking to get those returns. Do you have a lot of owners out there that are hesitant right now, or is everybody pretty much, this is hesitant in the sense of maybe we're going to have to overspend, but they understand that's kind of where we're at?
Some owners are like that, and that's their prerogative. But it's they're guided by me. Once in a while, I'll push them a little bit, but I don't like to do that too much. The prices are the prices. Either you're in or you're out. So I wouldn't pay $525 myself. Can't afford it. But for people that can, good luck to them. Ken Jacobs paid $510 for the sister last year, and she's well with it.
Right.
She's made $300, and she's worth that money all day long. So sometimes those high ticket horses, people knock them, but if you get the right one, you're okay.
Absolutely, you are. Now, the thestable.ca started in Ontario. You picked up a Better's Delight. That program there, still strong. The finals are going up next year to $300,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so were you hoping to maybe get, is it just a case of acquiring a Better's Delight, which I have to say, the longevity here, it's just been incredible for Better's Delight. Now coming up on pretty much 20 years and continues to have success.
Yeah, no one can say enough good about Better's Delight. I think he's been a little under the radar at the yearling sales over the years. We paid $225, which is obviously fairly strong. But we've had success with the family. I'm really happy to buy a Better's Delight. I've done terrific with Better's Delights. Better's Wish is a Better's Delight, and I think they're great value. Like, and his babies last forever and a day. So, Better's Wish could have kept racing to this day. He didn't need to retire. He was in great shape. But yeah, I'm really pleased to get a Better's Delight. I'm not going to buy. I bought one. That's probably enough for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, lastly here, before we let you get back to business, because we're getting a little closer towards the start of session number 3, I have to ask you about Nikki Hill, back on track, and she had a great victory last weekend here at the Red Mile. We were talking before we came on camera. This was kind of the plan. The target was to have her ready on the comeback trail to be here in Lexington.
Yeah, 100%. Like I say, the plan was to have her here because the plan wasn't working beforehand. It just took me all this time to get her organised and get her well. But I had my heart set on having her ready for Kentucky. We were having trouble with her all year, and finally got her where she needs to be. And we had one race 2 weeks before this at the Meadowlands, but the other day was real racing time, and she was in with terrific fillies. She's got a tough go of it. And put them all away, and it was a big relief off of my shoulders, and it's just great. I got such admiration for that filly. She's been nothing but terrific, and not to have her at her best was a little tough to take for a while, but she's back, and I think she's just going to carry on, and we're going to the British Crown, racing here on Sunday.
Yeah.
Just thrilled to have her back to herself, and I feel a little, I don't know if responsible, but I just felt bad about not being able to get her ready until now. But anyway, here we are.
There's still lots of opportunities ahead here, like you said, the Breeders' Crown, and based on how she looked the other day, she looks like she is going to be right there on her A game. So we wish you nothing but the best. Good luck. Thanks so much for dropping by and chatting with us. Good luck the rest of the sale. You must love coming down to Lexington, I would imagine. You get the family here. It's awesome.
It's been phenomenal this year. The weather's held up great. We don't have to race in the rain. It's been terrific. Lexington's at its best. The sale's great. The place is beautiful. It's, if you don't like Lexington, just don't come. But they've done a great job of the racing. The sale's terrific, and it's just a great experience. It's terrific.
Exactly that. A lot of folks that have dropped by have given those same sentiments, and I'm sure we got a lot of people watching this week that are saying, I'm going to go there next year.
Yeah,
so Chris,
you've got to come.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for dropping by, and good luck.
Great, thanks.
All right, we'll take another timeout. When we come back, more coverage here from Fasig-Tipton.
Oh, Dolly. I did a big one
very much.
the first day, man. Hallie in the Clouds, what a good-looking filly. This is a muscle mass. I want to make sure I get this right. Out of a sister to the mother of Path of Totality. Man, what a beautiful filly this is. Just a knockout of a filly. Lots going on here. Hallie in the Clouds is a January 25th. Well, there's a size. January 25th filly, a giant, out of a Cantab Hall. This is the first foal from that Cantab Hall, sister to Barndall. Barndall is the mother of Path of Totality. I bring that up because I hold her in very high regard. We kept her, we bred her. I love Path of Totality, and if her knees were a little stronger, she would have made a lot of money, I think, that mare. I really like this family. I really like this filly. A horse we're going to be paying very, very close attention to on day number 3. This is number 458, Hallie in the Clouds. Can you walk her down for me, sir? See that thing? Hey, you see her? You missed her. So next we have an International Money that I actually liked. It was funny because this guy was acting up on his way over here and I looked over at him and punched his number in and Amy started laughing. I like the ones that got some spunk, got some fire. You know what I mean? They should, right? So this is number 482, International Craze. He's an International Money. Now, I also like the fact that he's got a Lucky Chucky brother that's got almost $500,000 made. Big Man Ev, Amityville Lindy in the second, My Dolly down on the bottom. These are all nice horses. Not like, these aren't the names that end up on the Wheaties box, but they're the names that definitely show a lot of money and a lot of speed in the pedigree. This is a sneaky kind of good looking horse right here. He's put together really, really well. A little splint left front, but it's towards the front of the bone. And a lot of the times you see these splints, we talked about this last year a lot, where you see the splints up underneath their knees, and it leads me to believe that there's maybe a conformational issue causing that. You see it, there's a correlation there for sure. But this guy's got one splint, and the splint itself is towards the front of the cannon bone even a little bit more, which leads me to believe that maybe he hit it. Maybe he banged it on something or did something to it, but I don't know that if it's one of those typical ones that just popped out because of what I would call, you know, exercise, and you know, it pops out because of a conformational thing. This horse is very straight, very correct up front. So that would again lead me to believe that it probably wasn't your run-of-the-mill splint that just popped on a horse. It was more than likely something he did to himself, especially after watching him come over here. I would believe that that's the case. So this is number 482. International Craze. I really like this horse. You're going to find some really, really cool looking horses in different types of pedigrees. Not weak or bad, just kind of hidden away in day 3 where, you know, people have kind of blown their brains out a little bit. And day 1 and 2, some of the bigger stables have loaded up with what they want. And this is the type of horse where maybe they just get a quick little X on the catalog. So really nice horse here that I'm very, very interested in today in day number 3. His name is International Craze, a dual eligible Pennsylvania, Kentucky International Money colt, selling here on day number 3. Can you walk him down for me? Thank you. What? What? We just looked at it, didn't we? Is that not the one we looked at? Well, see what its number is. Go look. Just walk over and look. See it from here, 464. Yeah, I liked him. He's towed out. I thought he was going to be a nice horse. Another International Money. Yeah, he's a nice horse. They can bring him out. We'll run through it quick. Just find out where the other horses are, and we got to go do them right now. So, welcome to International Money Day. Apparently, we've looked at 3 or 4 of them. They all look really, really good. I thought I did a video of this guy on day 1 now. This is going to be a little trickier, this guy here. This horse is coming from Lindy Farms. They're a little selective, and I don't blame them for doing that. But there's a little give, there's a little take in this family. You have a Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and Massachusetts eligible colt here. Triple eligible, which sounds cool, but it also sounds expensive. Now, there is a little give and a little take. As I said, this is an embryo transfer at a Love and Lindy. Love and Lindy was a Varennes mare. Nothing spectacular on this page. Just again, a lot of horses. As You Car is a nice horse, 244,000, 35 wins. Just a kind of a top B-track beater, so to speak. Bit of Candy, 345 by Pine Chip. I've never heard of most of these horses, but they all show money, they all show speed. Now, the draw for this guy, 1, he is an exceptionally gorgeous colt. But he is an embryo transfer. A lot of people are going to turn away from that. I'm not. I'm going to side with science on this one. I certainly don't have a problem at all in number 498. The only problem I do have with him, I don't know if he's attainable. I can assure you, if this horse falls anywhere near our price range, we're definitely bringing him home. He is a gorgeous colt. Nice video, very well put together. Like I said, are people going to shy away from the embryos? They didn't last night, I can tell you that. So, is it likely we're going to find a colt that fits 3 jurisdictions? No, probably not. Certainly not one that looks as gorgeous as this guy, but we are definitely going to watch him go through the ring. This is number 498, International Law, selling here today at Fasig-Tipton. You walk him down one more time, sir? Yep. Yes, sir. No, we're good. You just walk him out. Just catch you walking by. we got to go up there too. That's right beside Blue Chip, right? And Diamond Creek, they're all right together, and then we'll walk over to the tent.
Danny is doing Spring Haven and Midland.
Super. 498. I did a video of this filly on day one, I believe, Lindy's Paloma. Man, she's a good-looking filly. We're kind of rushed for time, so I'm trying to go over my list and re-look at my list of which horses we want to bring you for the videos today. And I just had to do this filly before I left. Yes, she's a muscle mass. She's dual eligible. New Jersey and Massachusetts. Foaled on May 14th. A big filly for May 14th. Now, the pedigree on this horse is a little skewed. First dam does have a $100,000 winner by Cantab Hall. It took a 2-year-old mark. Remember, we always look at this. 2-year-old mark of 55-1. Then you look in the second dam, Toast to Lindy, Vodka and Lindy, both took 2-year-old marks. Third dam, Mambo Lindy is in there. Rum Boogie was a world champion herself. Who is the third dam? So at first glance, you might say, the page is a little light, but it really isn't. It's full of very nice horses, top to bottom, and this is a Muscle Hill. Can't imagine the Muscle Hill's a slide. I mean, there has been spots. And as I said to you, you don't know which ones people are just going to kind of miss going through the ring. And this seems to me and strikes me as a type of horse where that could happen. Number 506, Lindy's Paloma. It's a good-looking filly, May 14th filly, out of Preferred from Lindy Farms, selling today on day number 3 in Lexington. Can you walk her down for me, sir? Well, today we are going to focus. We do have Ontario. I'm left doing a million things at once. We do have Ontario also. We live in Ontario. We have a lot of clients in Ontario. And this is the start of the sale for the most part, where Ontario starts seeping in to the sale. This is, now, bear with me, this is the 11th foal. I know a lot of people are going to say, come on. 11th foal, this is Stay Hungry's brother. Ontario and Kentucky, dual eligible by Bettor's Delight. Now, some use some beach more. Treacherous Dragon is also in this family. Odds on Delray. My goodness. They're good, eh? So the first dam is just soaked full of pedigree, deep pedigree, lots of money. One stallion that's very, very decorated already in there. And then again, you look down the second dam, and again, you see more money and speed. This is your typical, prototypical Bettor's Delight. Pretty square-looking colt. That's as big as you're going to see a Bettor's Delight for the most part. They don't come very big, none of them for the most part. Some of them, I guess, you know, they're all a little different, but for the most part, that is your average to even, some might say, above average sized Bettor's Delight. So this is the Dragon Reborn. Good name. Number 520, he's a Bettor's Delight, dual eligible, Ontario, Kentucky, out of My Little Dragon, who, by the way, in case you didn't know, was a world champion herself. 2.3 million made, mark of 48-1. So it's not surprising that she's throwing all these talented horses. Can you walk this horse down for me, dear, please?
He's also a May 31st foal, so he's
all
pretty
right,
big.
May 31st foal. So he's almost a June foal, and he looks that big. So I would say he's actually going to end up being an above average size looking Bettor's Delight. Man, this horse is in the right place for us. Number 520, the Dragon Reborn, here at Hunterton, selling on day 3 in Lexington. That's nice. Thank you very much. You know, we had to wait a couple of minutes to look at this guy. 2 or 3 other groups that were in before us to look at him, and I can see why. He's a green shoe, very good-looking horse. Now, he's toed out just a hair, I believe, what I can see here. Toed out just a hair up front, but a green shoe out of a sister to Donna Soprano. That sister was a Muscle Hill. Now, here's where it gets a little bit interesting for us. As a Walner, see if there's any updates here. Nope, I don't see any updates. So 0 for 2 on the front dam. 0 for 2 on the front dam from Soprano Hill, the Muscle Hill mare. She's throwing a Walner. That's the only one they show, and he's now 3 and hasn't raced. The 2-year-old is in the same boat, has not raced. Now, maybe the horse get injured, I have no idea. but this is 0 for 2 on the front end, but in the second end, you got Donna Soprano, Tony Soprano, Julie's Magic, and lots all the way through this pedigree. Again, this is a type of horse, got us written all over it. You know, we're willing to gamble. We're willing to risk the fact that the horse is a little light on the front dam, given the fact that it's so strong in the second and third. This is a good-looking horse, long pasterns behind, toed out a little bit up front. I could see us nabbing this horse, number 570, Strutting Yankee. I like him. I liked his video. I like everything about him. I like the fact that a bunch of people had him out and got a good look at him. I like the fact that the air cleaned him out, too. Can you walk him down for me? So this is a colt, just Pennsylvania. No dual eligible also, so that helps us. Just Pennsylvania, green shoe, colt, third foal. 0 for 2 on the front. Third foal from a Muscle Hill mare who happens to be a sister to Donna and Tony Soprano. He's a little toed out up front. We'll look at his video. Again. It's all right. Well, I'll tell you right now how close he is. He's another one of these animals.
It's another gorgeous afternoon here in Lexington, Kentucky, as we are less than half an hour, or just about half an hour away from the start of session number 3 of the 2022 Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. Our coverage here at thestable.ca continues. Back here at the desk, Mark McKelvey with you, and pleased to be joined by Blair Corbeil, a prominent owner in our sport, someone who's enjoyed lots of success, and someone who's here looking for their next champion. And Blair, welcome back to Lexington. We were just talking before we came on camera. About 5th time you've been here, but you mentioned something that I've heard from a lot of people, that if you've never been here, people always say, you got to get here. I'm guessing once you finally did make your first trip to Lexington, you knew you'd be coming back many times.
Yeah, that's pretty much what everybody said, and everybody's right. I mean, it's the place to be and stuff. It's a lot of history here. It's just nice to take it all in and soak it in, and just the atmosphere is second to none.
You can't beat it. And a couple of years ago, War We Vital had a victory here at the Red Mile, established a great mark. When that race happened, were you here? I know we were during COVID. Were you here that day?
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't have missed that for the world and stuff. It was a pretty special moment. It's not every day you can win that race or have a horse even participate in it. So we're always fortunate as small owners to race in those types of races, that's for sure.
Now, I mentioned whether you were here or not, you travel from quite a ways. We ask where everybody comes from, and we get people from around the world and parts of North America. Alberta's home for you. What's the trip like to get here?
Typically, we drive to or fly to Ontario and to Toronto and drive down, just because we tie the trip in with business in Ontario with the horse operations with Rob Fellows and stuff, and hopefully we get a chance to stop by and look at the brood mares and babies we have there as well. So, and then the drive down here is just, it's a nice drive down here. It's a little long, but it's when you're in Alberta, you're used to driving lots anyways. So,
so there's no difference really. Yeah. But you get here to Lexington. Do you like to go around and look at all the yearlings? Do you watch the videos in preparation? Kind of what is your process getting ready for yearling season?
Well, for me, I like looking at the pages first, and everybody likes pedigree, but not all of us can afford that kind of pedigree, so we kind of tame our picks a little bit by that being realistic. And we shop mainly for confirmation and the individuals, and hope we get lucky with the family and go from there. And everybody needs luck in this business. No matter how much money you're spending, a lot of it comes down to luck and stuff like that. So that's what makes the business so fascinating.
Right. And now with your operation, being an owner, do you like to keep your stable at a certain number? When you go into the yearling sales, are you coming in with, this is how much I'm willing to spend, or is it a case of I want to get X amount of horses?
I wish I could say there was a budget all the time, but or a number all the time, but we always seem to exceed both. It's a pretty common practice, I think. I don't think I'm the only guy that's probably
no. You're not
issue.
The first that said that this week.
So it's, but it's being smaller owners in the business, or medium owners, whatever you want to, we have to be careful, and we try and find the nicest individuals we can afford, and put them in good hands, and hopefully they work out.
Yesterday you were able to acquire one, that being hip number 192, a Better's Delight colt. Jack Tar Moxie is the name of this colt here, and dual eligible, Ontario and Kentucky. You have to like that. 55,000. The mare, she was fantastic producer to this point. So how happy were you to acquire this Better's Delight colt?
We're really happy to get him for that price. Weren't too sure if he was going to fall to us or not, but he looked the part, and the family, the page speaks for itself. So it's always nice when you can get the looks in the family and going and stuff. It's now it's up to him and the trainers. I know I've always looked at this business sort of like, you know, any other sports franchise where you pick your coaches or your trainers, and now we're drafting our yearlings,
exactly,
or drafting our rookies, whatever you want to call it, and then from there they go into training for the next 8 months, and hopefully they make the NHL.
Well, that's exactly what you're hoping is going to work out here, especially with this youngster. So with a few more days to go in this sale, do you plan to be active, I guess, or is it just, you probably have some targets, but a lot of the time is it just kind of a waiting game and seeing maybe something that might slip through the cracks, or do you just have your target set on which ones you're going to bid on?
No, we have a long list of horses that we've liked and stuff, and a lot of them fly over our heads pretty quick. So it's turn the page and you carry on to the next one, and at the end of the day, you go home with the ones you like, and the rest is up to them.
Certainly is. Well, Blair, thanks so much for taking some time to join us here today.
Okay.
Enjoy your time in Lexington. Best of luck the rest of the, not just this sale, but the racing season, and we look forward to chatting down the road.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right,
Much
Blair
appreciated.
Corbeil. We're going to take another quick timeout. When we come back, more coverage as we get set for day number 3 from the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale.
Own a little and love it a lot. Thestable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. Thestable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at thestable.ca.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine recently introduced its exciting new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To create your account or learn more, visit www.preferredequine.com or call 914-773-7777.
And our coverage of the 2022 Lexington Selected Yearling Sale continues. We're less than half an hour away from the start of session number 3, and I'm joined by another special guest. Nancy Tactor has joined us here at the desk. And Nancy, you spent a lot of time in Lexington over the last couple of months. We were just talking about that before we came on camera. But this time of the year, Grand Circuit and the yearling sales, where does that rank on the times of the year that you're most looking forward to?
It's definitely pretty high up there. We're fortunate that we have beautiful weather right now too. So, but obviously it's very special time of the year. It's exciting to add new additions to your barn. It's nice for the owners to come out and actually see a lot of their horses. Since I have owners from all over the United States and Canada, it's nice that they can come down here for Grand Circuit, and watch your horses race and, get to catch up with them a little bit. And, it's a good time of year. Definitely one of the highlights of the year.
Like you mentioned, the weather's great racing, everything that goes with it. It's on every racing fan's bucket list is to come to Lexington, but you mentioned it. It's a lot of business for you right now. How stressful is it balancing not only running your stable, but then also getting over here on days like today as you look to find your next stars?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of work on the trainers. I'm not so sure that everybody realized this is a very tiring time of year for us because, like this morning, I was at the barn training, my horses that are racing this weekend, and then, get here, look at a few horses that are, rechecking horses that are maybe on a short list, and trying to put together groups and talking to the owners, and then before you know it, the sale's going, and you kind of have to be prepared. Obviously, there's a lot of preparation that goes into buying yearlings, and so it's tiring, and then after the sale, everybody wants to go to dinner, and then your day starts all over again.
It just feels like it's a cycle. It's a long days every day. You mentioned about the fact that you've got your horses over at the Red Mile, and with the Kentucky Sire Stakes program, the money that's in there now, you've been racing here for the last couple of months. Talk a bit about that. I'm guessing there are pros and cons to all this, but the fact that you can send a group of horses here, they're stabled right at the track, they're getting a chance to race for good money, you have to really be enjoying that new program.
Yeah, I mean, the program's really great. I had about 20 horses down here since the end of July. I actually had some horses that were here even for the meet that was at Oak Grove. Right. So it's been a lot of travel, back to forth. They've been racing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So that's a little difficult because it's, those are usually days where we are off a little bit and can kind of recharge, but this year we've had to race all those days. So that's a little taxing. I obviously sent my staff out here. I have 2 guys that haven't been home in 6 months. I told them that they could probably get Kentucky residency at this point. So, that part of it's difficult because obviously you're asking your staff to leave their families and go do their jobs and so forth. So, I guess that's a little bit the downside to it, but the upside to it is obviously the purse money is very good, and it's an opportunity for a lot of young horses and horses maybe that aren't the top level horses are still having an opportunity to race for a good amount of money. So even your B and C horses do have a chance to make some money.
Now for your operation, especially with this sale, a lot of the times people are looking for these horses now that are dual eligible. How high on your radar is that right now to have horses that have that option, whether they be Pennsylvania, Ontario, whatever it is, but they could come here as another route because they're Kentucky eligible?
So for me, obviously that's obviously a really good thing that if a horse is dual eligible, because it gives you a little bit more options for your horse. So if I'm looking at an Ontario bred, for example, I don't have necessarily a stable in Ontario. If they're dual eligible, that actually helps that horse a little bit because I could send it to Kentucky with my other horses. But then, if you have like a Pennsylvania bred horse, I feel like, even the stakes, the Grand Circuit races up in Ontario, I feel like have been a little bit cheaper the past couple of years because of the the Kentucky Sire Stake program here. So if you have a horse that you feel like could compete in the Grand Circuit, I think I jokingly said to my mom the other day, I said, she's like, oh, this horse is just Pennsylvania. I said, no, it's Pennsylvania and Canada. So, we have the option to go race at Mohawk, which is a great surface and a great track too, to race them there. So, yes, it's a good program for sure. But I think last year I thought I weighed it higher than I do maybe this year.
Right. Now, you mentioned the fact that you're racing all over. I'm curious, what's a day in your life like when you're traveling? Like, how much are you constantly in contact with your staff? And how important is it to have really good staff that you can rely on?
Well, it's definitely very important to have good trainers that, because I'm physically not myself in the barn, that they can execute what I'm asking them to do and also relay information back to me, this horse trained this way, maybe we need to fix this, or, this isn't working out right, or so forth. And also they need to be good leaders because they have to run the staff when they're there. So it's definitely a lot of responsibility for my assistant trainers. For the most part of the summer, I have stable in New Jersey and Canada and in Lexington. So for me, myself, it's a lot of traveling. I don't think I've spent more than maybe 2 nights in my own house since May, so in a row. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting home and sleeping in my own bed for a bit.
All right, well, last couple questions for you. A lot of our viewers watching, maybe just getting into the sport, new clients and things along those lines, they're probably wondering, what's the process when you get a yearling out of this sale? How quickly do you guys turn around and start breaking them?
Well, actually, I just got a notification on my phone before we got on air that the horses that we actually bought last night are almost already home in New Jersey.
There you
So, their lives are definitely different from even just when they get to the sales grounds to when they go through the ring to when the hammer falls. Their lives are never going to be the same. You have to remember, a lot of these yearlings have been out with their friends in the field.
Right.
And not had very much human interaction just a few weeks ago, and now we're asking them to begin their careers as racehorses. But I usually give them, especially the ones that were sold here, they're being brought in and out of stalls while people are inspecting them a lot. They're a little tired. It's tough on them because it's not something that they're really used to. So I usually try to give them a few days off just to kind of recoup. But I would say that the ones that we bought these past 2 days, they're going to be broken jogging probably by the end of next week.
Exactly, so it's a quick turnaround, there's no doubt about that. My last question for you gets away from the racing side of things, more into the Lexington lifestyle. You spend so much time here, and I know Anthony was sending a text message yesterday looking for restaurant recommendations. Do you have a favorite spot? If someone was coming into town, is there a place you'd recommend?
You know what? All the restaurants are really good. Lexington actually has some of the best restaurants. I do get to travel around the country a lot, and definitely there are Tony's, Jeff Ruby's, Frankendino's is very good. There's a spot for everybody, I think, in Lexington. I should probably push Frankendino's a little bit. It's owned by John Fielding and David Anderson, Canadians. And also they have a new restaurant called La Folie, which is a French restaurant down here, which is really good. But there's definitely a good spot to eat down here.
You can't go wrong. The Lexington lifestyle, the great racing, the sales, dinner, everything you need right here. Nancy, probably another busy day for you, so we'll let you get to it. Thanks so much for taking some time and joining us.
All right, thanks.
All right, we'll be right back, and we'll put a wrap on today's pregame show, session number 3, kicking off at 2 p.m.
Own a little and love it a lot. Thestable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. Thestable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at thestable.ca.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine recently introduced its exciting new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To create your account or learn more, visit www.preferredequine.com or call 914-773-7777.
A nice aerial view of Fasig-Tipton. Quite the operation here with the amount of land, the amount of barns, and the facilities. I'm telling you, that main arena where they bring the horses in, you'd eat dinner off the ground in there. It's that nice. This is a pretty remarkable facility and a great host venue for the 2022 Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. Mark McKelvey, rejoined once again by Anthony McDonald. Anthony, a lot of fun catching up with some of the different trainers, some prominent trainers and owners in our sport that are all here today. The one thing I seem to find, as much as this is all about business, really, when you think about it, you're trying to find your next champion. Everyone seems to be in a good mood. I don't know if it's just the fact that the weather's great today, that it's Lexington, that it's a little change of pace, but despite the fact that there's probably going to be some stressful moments for a few of them, they all seem to be in a good mood, and I imagine you kind of feel those same sentiments when just dealing with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we're a little bit different. I guess not different than most of these guys that come on. I mean, I was interested myself to listen to Nancy and Chris, and listening to Chris specifically talk about a lot of the same things that we talk about when we're looking at babies. Show me the horse. You don't want to get caught up in pedigree pages. Those things lead you to the horse, but show me the horse. And I think that's a very, very important thing. That people get lost and they get caught up in the the pomp and the prestige of Lexington and the beautiful weather and everything like that, but you have to pay attention to the horse. So we have an enormous list today, and it was great catching up with the breeders. As I said to you off air, one of the first pillars of the stable, because we didn't have a lot of money starting out, was working with breeders that maybe bought their horses back, thought their horses were worth a little more. Now you have to have your price on the horse also, but if those two prices make sense and it's lower than really what the horse is worth, then it's in our best interest, it's in their best interest to market that horse to our growing pool of clients. And we've already had 3 clients. I was just talking to another breeder that had just walked up to me and said they had saw us talking about this and it made sense, and what did you think of my filly? And that is how it all got started.
Right.
That was how it all got started, and it's something that won't stop. We'll continue to work with everybody, and the stable is this massively growing company, I guess, but barn. And what we try to do, we're trying to help out ourselves. Obviously, it's our barn. We're trying to do the best we can for ourselves, but at the same time, help the industry out. The way that we take our trainers, we find our trainers and bring them back in. A guy like Harry Polton, who's probably breathing new air. The industry kind of grinds you down and beats you up after a while to the point where you just say, maybe it's not for me anymore. But to be in charge of a stable and a group of horses like that, I'm sure he'd tell you the same thing. It's just a new lease on harness racing life, so to speak. And I want everybody to see what we're doing, the show or what we're doing, and show trainers out there that I get called by trainers all the time, and I've done it. I'm going to use our platform to do it, to call on all the stakeholders of this industry to start paying attention to what's taking place. We talk about owner shortages, we talk about horse shortages. They run hand in hand, but I'm going to tell you what, you start seeing some of these trainers leave our industry, that's a shortage that no one can fix. There isn't a new generation of trainers, very few coming behind us, and to have people leave the industry because they don't have clients anymore, that's a real problem for this industry and something that everybody should start paying attention to. We can talk about all the shortages, but the most important shortage, that's coming next, and that one is going to cripple this industry if we don't do something. So, to everybody out there, all the jurisdictions, build templates, allow these trainers that are good people, that are very quiet people, allow them to connect with potential clients out there. They are out there, and if we don't start drawing lines from one to the other and helping these people out, I'm telling you, the next shortage is really going to be a tough one to recover from.
I will point out, and this isn't to pump your tires or to pump the tires of all of us that are putting this on, but the amount of people that have walked by today and taken a double look going, what are they doing? Or come over and just ask us, what are you guys doing? And then going, that's a great idea. So there's something to that, you're right, and I think you're spot on when you say it's not going to just be one person, it's going to take everybody really buying in order to get some change. I wanted to mention a couple things from our interviews. When I spoke with Chris Ryder, I mentioned to you, I felt like he was getting emotional talking about Nikki Hill, and I think that's a side of our sport that a lot of people, and especially owners, maybe don't see. It's just that the day-to-day toll, a guy like that who's coming here and going to be one of the top spenders, the stress that's weighing on him about a real good filly that's already done so much for him, and him being disappointed because he just can't get her right. I think seeing that candid side is something that, while some might say it looks like vulnerability, I think a lot of times it brings that human element, and people can really then connect with somebody like that who before they'd say, oh, he's got an unlimited budget, or he's got owners that are going to give him everything he needs. Everybody, whether they're at different stages of the game, whether they're at the top or the bottom, feel the same pressures at times.
Oh, 100%. And, I say it to our clients all the time. Scott Zarin come up to me last night and he said, I make fun of you, he said, but you did the right thing in the Little Brown Jug. And it bothered me for a long time after that race that, just the way that unfolded. And we put so much into this industry, it really means everything to us. And whether it's Chris Ryder or anybody, this is the stuff that the general public don't see.
Right.
They don't see the human side of what we all love horses. We all want to see each other do good. We all compete against each other, but the last thing I or you or anybody wants to see is some trainer that you used to watch racing, sitting in a chair over there watching the sale, doesn't have any owners, he just still wants to be a part of the industry. That might sound silly to you, but that is an absolute reality, and it's only going to grow if we don't do something about it. And it's not like we can fix everything, but opening those conversations, opening those doors and saying, listen, this is a real problem. I have literal trainers that I hold in great regard that are calling me saying, hey, do you want to buy some horses with us? If we don't do something, we're going to see a great industry and a great portion of this industry start to decay in front of us. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but this industry is forever flat-footed. It is never proactive, and this is one time where we really, really have to start looking ahead.
Something to keep in mind, no doubt about that. When we were talking with Nancy, she was just talking about the fact that for a lot of these horses, this is just such a different experience for them. For the most part, they're out in the field. Now they're being brought here, they're being brought in and out of their stalls a bunch of times. Human interaction is just ramping up for them like they've never seen.
Yeah.
And she thinks that when these horses get back home, they are a little tired. And she says, you want to take a day before you break it down to work, but at the same time, you don't want to waste any time.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what the process is going to be for your purchases? I know that's all still maybe a fluid situation, but have you thought that far ahead?
Yeah, I mean, I laugh because what Nancy's explaining is the exact opposite thing that's about to happen to these horses.
I kind of figured that.
Our horses are in the jog carts the day after we buy them. And yeah, they might be a little tired, but maybe we exploit that because we don't want the horses acting up, kicking. Sure. And it's nice to have them feeling good, but feeling good after they understand the parameters of what they're supposed to do and what we need them to do. The last thing I want to do is bring that excitement, put it in a jog cart, and then sit behind it.
Right.
So what I want them to do is understand, let them get to the barn and understand what we're trying to show them to do, and then allow them to go out in the track and have some fun.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to get hurt. So we don't turn them back out in the field for a while. They will go from here. Some of them will go to Ontario. Some of them will go to Northfield Park, where we're going to have some of our horses based this year. And they will be in the jog cart very, very quickly after we buy them. Just getting them down to work. And, if they happen to get a little sick or they happen to, be a little down in the dumps after that, then we will turn them out. And that's the one thing that I always praise our trainers with and our operation with, is that the ability to be way more fluid than a lot of people. People have a very structured way of training, and we don't. We try to look as much as we can at the individual and what they need. What does that horse need? What does that horse need? And sometimes that's quite a bit different from case to case. So we have horses, most of our clients know now, but we'll have almost our stable split between Northfield and Ontario. And the reason being for that is we had moved out of Tomiko. Tomiko's a great place, but the management of Tomiko right now, very nice people, but I think they're a little overwhelmed with what they got themselves into, or maybe they weren't focusing mainly on horse racing and more of the the realty side of Tomiko Training Center. And it's fine right now, but I think when the snow starts to fly and the ice starts to accumulate, listen, we're the biggest stable in Canada. We're major players now in the harness racing scene, and we need to be at a place that can accommodate us in that reality. And First Line Training Center does a great job, but Joe's a good guy. He couldn't build a barn quick enough. We just don't have enough stalls there. Whereas Ohio, we do a lot of business in Ohio. Great people, Dave Bianconi, and honestly the whole management, Michael Carter, everybody we deal with at Northfield, very accommodating. And much like Ontario, Ohio gets it. They are fully behind fractional ownership. They're fully behind trying to help us grow our stable. And in turn, I know they will be fully behind helping us bring more stables into the fractional ownership business, so to speak. I think most of these trainers just need an opportunity, just need to be shown how, maybe given a little bit of help, and that is where I think our industry can come in. You don't have to hold their hand, but you do have to educate them and show them, listen, we'll build it, we'll help you build the stuff, the website, the bios, everything like that, we'll help you do that, and then we'll help with the advertising and bring some people in. The rest is up to you. You have to be that Chris Ryder where people can sit down with you and say, man, that guy is really, really cool, right? You have to be the Nancy Tactor that's going to be open and inviting to people. You have to be the person you are, because most of these people are very, very nice people.
Yeah.
That is what we have to show. We have to show the general public how actually human this industry is.
I just kind of had a question popped in mind when you were talking about the fact that you're going to have the horses split up between Northfield and First Line as well. And that transition to First Line, I'm sure there's some clients out there that before when they come out to Tomoko kind of had the run of the place in a sense, right? I mean, clients could come out, just pull right up off the road there. how will that maybe change this winter, now being at first line? The operation a little different out there, or is it clients, no worries, if you want to get out there, you're still going to have your opportunities?
Well, the cool thing is it will be saturated because Mark Stacey's crew is there, right?
Right.
So a great group of people also, and they won't be pulling in and just parking wherever they want. You know, there will be designated parking, but we'll be accommodating, and you can be sure of any human being on planet Earth that understands what we're trying to accomplish is Joe Stutzman.
Yeah.
He understands it, he gets it, and I suspect Joe is way ahead of us on this and understands that we do have a large volume of people that'll be coming from time to time. So just understanding, putting up signs, understanding this is where you can go, this is where you can't go, this is how you get there.
Right.
That's the guy to do it. So yes, it will be a little different than it was at Tamiko, but at the same token, very accommodating in the same sense. And that is the most important thing, is for us to be able to accommodate our clients. That was the first thing when I spoke to Joe.
Right.
We do have a lot of horses coming. If you can accommodate those horses, great. But there's a lot of people, a lot of feet that are accommodating those horses. That needs to be accommodated also. So Joe's the right guy for it. I'm sure he'll have everything set up, and we won't have a problem in that regard.
All right, we're only a few minutes away from the start of session number 3, so my final question for you here today is, we're going into day 3. Yep. I'm wondering mentally, did you have to refocus considering how long yesterday was, and it's probably going to be the same today? And maybe if you could give us somebody we should be keeping an eye on here early on, because I'm sure a lot of the clients will be curious, and it's always a little more fun when we can track here, especially early in the day. I know as the day gets going, you're just going to be watching every horse that goes in, but is there one early on that we should keep a close eye on?
Yeah, there's a couple. I really liked what I saw in hip 411, Militant. This is a 6-pack, dual eligible colt, April 15th colt out of Christina M, which is Charmed Life's mother. Now, this horse shouldn't be an attainable horse, but when we circle back and look at hip 361, right, that shouldn't have been an attainable horse.
Yeah.
Our job is to buy horses that shouldn't be attainable, I guess is the easiest way to put it. And they will fall through the cracks. Make no mistake, I can't say it's going to be 411, but there will be many, many horses where tomorrow morning there's going to be a lot of our clients wake up and say, how'd you get that horse? and that's really what my job is. I know there's some really beautiful horses out there today. Alfa Romeo, 445. Father Patrick, again, there's a way in, is dual eligible, but Father Patrick a little down the list this year. Yeah. We thought that might happen because of Green Shoe showing up, right? So that's a place where we have and will continue to do some work. And then obviously we are focused on, for our Ontario clients, we are focused on some Ontario breds today. There was one really, really nice, don't have her on my thing, it was a preferred equine, a muscle mass filly. She was absolutely stunning. So we want to not just focus on what horses, and you are right, it does get a little stressful because I am switching gears.
Right.
I'm looking for, what do we have? We don't want to end up with a bunch of trotting colts and no trotting fillies. So we can't have everything in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Is there Ontario breds here for us today? So as that bleeds into the last day of Lexington, there is an absolute ton of things, these small little things that are going to play a big, big role moving forward. Today is going to be about value more than ever. Value is always in our mind, but we are going to switch gears. Today is going to be about, here's our hard line. Anything that falls under that line is potentially in play, but we also have buckets to fill, and I got to be careful. Don't want to overflow the buckets.
No, exactly. And
so it's all very, very taxing, and it's another, as you pointed out earlier, another 7-hour session.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long, long day here at Basik-Tipton, that's for sure.
Yeah, I haven't checked out the outs just yet, but 237 that were scheduled to go through the ring. So
unless there's 50 or 60 outs, it's not going to be very fun.
We're still looking about close to 9 p.m. tonight. So if you can't stick around all day, I'm sure you'll find time in the day when you can rejoin in, and the action will still be continuing. All right, Anthony, great show today. It was awesome to catch up with some of our different guests. We look forward to doing it tomorrow, and good luck. Buckle up. I hope you got a Red Bull or something to get you through.
Oh, we have some Red Bulls, yeah. And I want to take a minute to say thank you, because it's not like we flew you down here in a Learjet and we have you at the Ritz-Carlton. I mean, you do a fantastic job. People don't realize we just dropped those interviewed people in here in front of you. It wasn't like Mark had any time to prep or he had notes to go over. It was like, hey, here's Nancy Tactor. Hey, here's Chris Ryder. And the job you do is tremendous.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the week. So I think we're almost at 2 o'clock. Curtis behind the camera giving me the thumbs up. So we're going to wrap up for today. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy day number 3 of the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. We'll be back tomorrow, and make sure you head online. You can watch the live stream starting now and check those results as they come in throughout the day. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you.